Welcome to a very special episode of the My Thoughts, My Faults podcast. It's your boy Terry motherfucker Rocks.
It's your boy Reezy in the building.
And we are honored to be graced by the presence of showrunner of Southside and Sherman's Showcase, Diallo Riddle.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
Man, such an honor today.
All right. So one of our favorite shows right now. We don't know where to start. So, because like you got a crazy career. He's like let's list a bunch of stuff that he does. Producer and writer for The Last OG.
Yes,
wrote
sir.
for Jimmy Fallon.
Yep.
Actor in Silicon Valley. Actor in Blackish.
Mm-hmm.
Brothers in Atlanta. Whole bunch of stuff.
Atlanta. Oh man.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
We're gonna get into that.
So, where you from?
Atlanta.
You're from
I
Atlanta.
grew up in Atlanta. I'm the one person who is a big part of Southside who is not from the Southside of Chicago. Bashir is, his wife Chandra, who plays Officer Turner, is, the twins, and his brother Sultan. Everybody's from the South Side of Chicago. Me, I grew up in Southwest Atlanta, Zone 4.
Zone 4.
Zone 4.
Shout out to Ludacris, T.I. Like we're all from that side of town.
Okay.
People now know like East Atlanta through like Gucci Mane.
Yeah, Zone 6.
People know the North from Migos. But I feel like when I was growing up, it was all about my part of town. You know what I mean? Like I'm not even saying that on some pride stuff. Like that was where all the black people, kind of congregated. That was where the black mall was.
Shout out to blacks congregating.
Yeah, Atlanta was a special place, man. I didn't realize how special it was until, I went to college and, went to Boston, which was damn near the exact opposite. Like there, it seemed like every black person was really depressed.
You can't just say you went to Boston. You went to
yeah.
Harvard.
You went to Harvard University, folks. When we were doing our research and we saw that he went to Harvard, we could not fucking believe it.
But my pocketbook can't fucking believe it either.
I'm gonna ask you that too. So, like with Harvard, like, did you go like knowing that you wanted to be an actor or a show writer?
Heavens no. In fact, it's so ironic that I thought I wanted to go into government, and there was another dude there who was doing all of the acting, and we look up now, and it's been over 2 decades, and he works in Washington, and I'm acting. So
wow.
we actually got together at a reunion, and we were talking about it because we were like, yo, it's weird how like that kind of like change can happen. You get to college, man. I look back, man. At 17, some people know what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
My college roommate was Ryan Leslie. He got to college. He knew exactly what he wanted to do.
He's in there cooking up beats and joints.
He already had the keyboard with the pre-made beats and stuff, and he was doing all that whole thing. And I even asked him one time, I was like, are you gonna definitely just do R&B, or are you thinking about doing like, would you do like some rock, or would you do like some dance music? He was like, no, I just want to do R&B. He didn't even want to do hip hop.
That's crazy.
He just wanted to do R&B, and I feel like that was he knew early on. I did not know early on. I was at the Kennedy School of Government trying my best to do what I thought I needed to do at that time. But my senior year, I decided I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to do, and that was when I struck out to I headed out west where I had a lot of family. My family's actually long-term Los Angeles. They moved out here in the early 1900s. And I had some family out here. I had a sister doing, she was an assistant casting director. And so I just worked for her for like a summer and fell in love with the lifestyle, just like, great weather. I was coming from Boston, like I didn't want any more negative 20-degree winters.
No more cold winters.
Nothing more like that. I was just like, oh, this place is 75 degrees all year. Okay, I can run with that for a little bit. And I just ended up, changing what I wanted to do in life.
That's cool. You met Bashir at Harvard, right?
Yeah.
So did you guys both decide to like move out west at the same time?
I moved out first.
Okay.
He went back and did like some community theater. I want to say in like upstate New York, and then he was back in Chicago. And I was like, dude, I'm having a great time in L.A. And he came out and visited one time, and I had a party in my apartment. I'm fresh out of college, and I had like I think Karen Parsons was there. Like I had already met and befriended like some people, a
lot of industry
in Hollywood.
people.
Yeah, but like just from a very basic point of view, like there were a lot of cute girls in my apartment, and Bashir was like, oh my god, and so like he moved out there like about 6 months later.
Right,
that's enough motivation for me to move out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look, I'm not trying to disparage any city over another, but like Boston, like I said, the black community was dispersed. It wasn't like Atlanta, and we were coming from Harvard, where everybody's very smart community, but you get out to LA, you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many dimes out here. So like, we definitely got
They're not even that smart, dude. It's okay.
And now we can be the smart ones.
For sure.
Dude, I'm not going to say this for Diallo, but fuck Boston. They shat in Bill Russell's bed. So, and I'm a Lakers fan through and through.
Listen, man, they had Red Auerbach. We know how long it took for the Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox, weren't they the last baseball team?
Before the Cubs.
I mean, seriously, I want to say they were the last Major League Baseball team to have a black player.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
they came in dead last.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Boston Red Sox. The Celtics, I mean, like, nobody's going to say that Kevin McHale, Larry Bird, these aren't great players, but we knew that joke in Do the Right Thing when dude is going into his apartment. He's got on a Larry Bird,
Converses.
Yeah, he's got on the Larry Bird jersey. So, that was the white team. And Boston just, I don't know what's up. It's like Boston is a tale of two cities, right? Like, you have the hyper intellectuals who are like all in Cambridge, and like I think 1 in every 6 people in Boston is a college student. So you have that side, but then you have like, I don't know, man. You just got some deep seated. You got some you got some deep seated stuff going on there.
I don't hear a lot about like Boston hoods or like
only from the movies I watch.
The bad parts of
like
Boston.
Like The Departed.
Even that.
Well, they talk about the white hoods.
The white hoods, right? They don't talk about a lot of
But
black
I used to be DJ. I DJ'd at Harvard, and so I was always going into the black neighborhoods, Roxbury, Dorchester. I was picking up, my vinyl, and I was getting my haircut down there. So
we actually want to talk about you moonlighting as a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
So, what type of music are you into?
I'm into. I mean, it sounds cliche. I'm definitely into everything. I'll tell you, the hardest thing right now for me is keeping up with what's in hip hop right now, because I do feel like every 2 weeks there's like a new song. I'm like, oh, who is this? And it's an artist I've never heard of. People don't have rap names like they used to
at all.
One of
the best rappers right now is Young Thug. That's a crazy name to have.
Well, I mean, Young Thug, I mean, he was dope, in the 20-teens, but like I'm talking about now, like everybody's got these initials, like it's always like YNR BSC
JID
Jeff, like it's always like a string of initials and then some name and stuff. And like, I listen, I'm always Shazam. I'm like, oh, Nardo Wick, 42 Doug. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like it's really hard, especially now that, everybody makes videos, but nobody's ever seen the video. Like, I couldn't tell you what half of the rappers I listened to even look like.
You know
what I'm saying? Like, when was the last time like a video structure, even huge songs? I haven't seen the video for Beyonce Break My Soul. I haven't seen it. I'm sure I could watch it right now.
I don't think I have.
I haven't.
I think there's a video for it. I'm pretty sure.
That's crazy.
But it's just crazy to me how like we don't have a visual on half the artists that we know. If we know somebody, it's because they're a celebrity. It's like the Cardi B's. You're gonna know what they're gonna look like. But there's so many artists, I have no idea what they look like. And you ask what kind of music I listen to. I do feel like I tend towards stuff with a drum machine. So it can be hip hop, it can be dance music, what they used to call electronic music. Like I do like, and it's weird because I was a drummer for 12 years, but I do like stuff with the drum machine. I just like the 808 sound. Mm-hmm. And when I DJ, I try to bring that force, you know what I mean? Like yeah.
Exactly. We were just listening to Tears for Fears, speaking of drum machines, right?
Fantastic group.
Drum machines
group.
My guys. Ever, I would say. But
Shout, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Head Over Heels was my karaoke song for a couple of years. Like I could always bring down the world with some la 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 la. So
started pointing that mug. This is for you, girl.
Well, there was I used to go to this karaoke spot in L.A. where there was this Asian man who would always get up there and sing Purple Rain, and he would bring the house down.
For real?
I never meant to cause you any sorrow.
But here's the thing, man. That dude. Not only, I feel like he had never heard the song Purple Rain.
It was just mumbling.
He did not mumble. He actually had a distinct way of singing it. I can still hear it in my head. He would always say, Purple Rain, Purple Rain. And I was always like, he found his own version of Purple Rain. And it became famous at this karaoke spot to the point where like I can still sing it.
Yeah.
But it's funny to me how like some people just make a song entirely their own. I don't know if you ever heard the actual Purple Rain.
No, for sure. What?
Oh, him?
We the biggest Prince.
Come on, man.
No, I'm saying, I don't know if he had ever.
He probably saw like, how it bounces on the thing. Purple Rain. Right,
trying to hit it on the mark.
Trying to catch it right there. Because those things will send you off. You don't know the song.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to do karaoke for, I was in New York one time. I tried to do New York State of Mind, and I developed a whole new respect for Jay-Z's
rapping?
cadence. Well, just Jay-Z's cadence in particular, because you think, like, oh, man, I heard this song a million times. I'm just doing New York State of Mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, after you get past the part about Tribeca, I was completely lost. I was like, how did Jay do
Home
this?
with that boy Biggie.
I was like, I was impressed.
And I brought my boys with me. But the only rap song I could do for karaoke is probably Outkast, Hey Ya. And that's damn near not even a rap song.
And that's hardly a rap
Right,
song.
barely.
Hey, Diallo, I want to switch a little bit. I got a real question.
Mm-hmm.
So you did Brothers in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think Southside worked, but Brothers in Atlanta didn't?
Well, let's talk about the industry. I think that there are two things that played into a factor: the executives at the network we were doing it with,
Okay.
and the timing. So you got to remember, when we were doing Brothers in Atlanta went into development when we were still technically at Fallon. We sold that idea. It hurts my heart. We sold an idea for a show like Brothers in Atlanta in November 2011.
Wow.
Okay? Now think about, that's 11 years ago, right?
Yeah.
By 2012, it had morphed into an idea that was kind of like Brothers in Atlanta, called The Reporters. Me and Bashir were going to play reporters at a small black newspaper. Every major city has that, legacy black newspaper.
Gazette.
The Gazette.
Arthur Ashe.
The LA Sentinel, the Atlanta Torch. We were going to be one of those reporters at one of those kind of. And so we shot a pilot in 2013 that I still really like, called The Reporters, and it didn't go nowhere. We had Big Boy in it. We had from Outkast. We had some really good people in there, but it didn't go forward. So HBO at the time, under about 4 presidents ago,
Right. Okay.
was like, yo, we don't like this pilot, but we're going to let you reshoot it. So we went back into the lab. We spent all of 2014 writing Brothers in Atlanta. That was about the time we started working with Maya Rudolph and Drake. Like, we really started to find our comedic voice. So we did a totally different pilot, totally different characters. It started from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Brothers in Atlanta. And that's the one with Jaden Smith and Finesse Mitchell and Maya Rudolph, who we made friends with, August Alsina. Funny enough, Jaden Smith didn't know August Alsina until they met on the set of our show.
It's your fault.
It's all my fault.
Wow.
It's all my fault.
We found the source, y'all.
Here's your
We
guy.
found the source.
They were hanging out on set all day. I noticed they were like really starting like, yo, we should hang out. We should hang out. Yeah.
Catch a vibe.
Fuck my mom.
And but shout out to Jaden, and I haven't seen August in a long, long time. But Jaden was a really cool dude. He came on board and did a part that originally had been written for Donald Glover, who's been a friend of ours since 2007. Long story short is, at that time there was the thought that, at least with the previous administration at HBO, that you couldn't have 2 shows in Atlanta, about black people. That's really what it came down to.
That's
Too
crazy.
many blacks on here.
That was 2015, and I think they really made the decision that, Donald Glover beat us to that, so let's go do something else. And so they killed the show. Fast forward to just 2 years later, after the Oscars So White controversy and just people recognizing how fucked up that mentality in 2015 was, we took it to a place that I feel like, Comedy Central, a place where I feel like they were excited to do a show with us, and a show that had some color in it. And, we sold it to Comedy Central, and immediately that president got fired. I mean, like we have been shaken and stirred by everything from like writer strikes to executive turnover. And that doesn't make us special because every writer deals with it. But I'm just saying, like, we've dealt with it a lot. And, so we got season 1 of Southside on Comedy Central. But by that point, it was a new president. We didn't think we were going to come back for season 2. But then streaming wars pick up. The president of HBO Max, ironically, so back at HBO, the president of HBO Max Comedy was like, we love Southside. We're going to buy it from Comedy Central. We were like, thank you. So we got in there and did, season 2. We were almost done shooting season 3. On the streamer, we had a lot more, thank you, we've had a lot more viewership than when we were on Comedy Central, appearing between,
Absolutely.
commercials, what I'm saying? Because people don't want to be told, you have to watch it 8:30 on Tuesday night on comedy. Like, that's just not how people, consume anything now.
At all anymore. There's so much more. Everybody just want to go to exactly what they want. I was actually I work at Promontory. So I think you guys did the premiere at Promontory.
Of season 1.
Yeah, of season one. So that was amazing, like, for it to come full circle for us, Got something?
Yeah, I actually want to jump back into Harvard for a brief second. So Harvard. Everyone knows that's like the most prestigious school in the country, and
it's the Morehouse of the North.
Right. So then, as you decide to make this life change, how did your parents react to that?
Well, I told my parents in the second grade. I was like, "What?" I was like, "I'm going to Harvard." I told them that. I've been writing stories, and I didn't know that. I told you I thought I was going to go into government. I grew up in Atlanta. We had some really dope mayors. Like, in Chicago, you got Harold Washington. What I'm saying, you had Harold Washington. A lot of people looked up to him, right?
Yeah.
And in Atlanta, we had a string. We had Maynard Jackson. We had Andy Young. Like, we had a string of like really good mayors. And I was like, that's what I want to do. And people were like, oh man, Diallo gonna be the president one day and all that kind of stuff. But looking back, I was always a storyteller. So as early as like kindergarten, I wrote a book about dinosaurs. It was 5 pages long, but they put it in the school library, so I felt accomplished.
For a 5-year-old.
Well, my sister Pam, shout out to Pam. She taught me how to read at an early age. You know what I'm saying? She would read books to me, and I think that's how you get kids interested in school and learning is just read to them. Third grade, I wrote a spy story that took place in World War II, and that became, that got put in the elementary school library. So looking back, I was always trying to write.
That sounds dark, like a dark timepiece, a spy movie.
Look, it's actually beautiful.
World War II.
It merged my love of history, which for whatever reason I've always been really into, like knowing history. I watched a lot of documentaries about World War II with my dad. With my dad. And then also I was a huge James Bond fan, so I was like, I'm gonna do a World War II story about a black spy in World War II, and I never even addressed the fact of how he was able to infiltrate the Nazis being a black spy, because I'm a third grader. But it was cool. I think I still have it like buried somewhere in my attic.
So they didn't cater that you decided to, because Harvard, like, it's so expensive, so prestigious. But
basically going to school for writing.
I got straight A's pretty much all through school. Okay. So I got a little bit of like a grant here. I got a grant here. I got a grant there. Now, trust me, my parents had no money. My father was an artist and my mom was a housewife. So we were always broke. And basically, he had to sell a lot of art as best he could. He had to, go into debt. But he was like, you made it into Harvard. I'm going to get you into Harvard. So,
get you through here. I feel that.
Yeah, so, shout out to a parent's love.
Yeah, shout out to that. Yeah, back to Chicago. So, Southside. So,
yeah,
a lot of shows come here and try to like glorify violence or live off the Chicago name, and they don't really hit with the Chicago locals as much. Like Shameless worked, it was good, but like as a black man watching Shameless, it's not black.
Where does that happen in Chicago?
Like the way they talked is like, oh, we're gonna go up to Ashland. Are you Southside? You Northside? Like no one talks like that.
But we do like Shameless.
It was a great show, but
I feel like people really talk about Shameless.
We love Shameless. We love Shameless. It was just like
it wasn't Chicago.
I don't see it. I don't necessarily see that representation.
I know where they are right now. I know this is in Chicago, and I know it's supposed to be a Chicago show, but these are not Chicago people. But Southside, everything seems like genuinely authentic.
And
like,
I really see Chicago people.
Right. Well, you have a whole bunch of Chicago writers.
So a couple of things. First off, yes, 100%. There not only are all of our series regulars from the South Side. They all went to Kenwood, some went to Whitney Young, but like everybody's from, they grew up Emerald Street, 83rd, you know what I mean? Like it's all the writers. Almost all of them except for me. This guy Michael Blyden from Detroit, and I won't expose him. There's one other writer on the show who's actually from the North Side, and he gets a lot of shit for it.
That's pretty nice.
Like they always give him shit.
Of course.
But yeah, everybody got people from Harvey in the South Suburbs.
That's the deep South.
This is the deep South Side. You got a lot of just people who really know the city. And I think to our credit, we go out of our way to not shoot. Like right now, we're doing this interview. Technically, this is the West Side. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like, we have the opportunity to shoot around here, but we don't. We're like, the West Side still doesn't look like the South Side. So even though it's closer and would probably be more convenient, we we go to the Southside
and make those trips.
Yeah.
I seen you in Hyde Park. Like I seen you on all the Southside areas. So
Hyde Park is close. Like we're deep south. We're 95th and Ashland. You know what I'm saying? Like we go deep into the Southside because we don't want people to watch the show. I was actually stressed out the other day because my character's supposed to be on the Southside, and I realized that just because we had been driving the picture car, that's just meaning that we're shooting in a car. I was like, damn, we're really not on the Southside. We're closer to the West Side, and like we take pains to try and make sure that people don't watch our show and think, man, they ain't shooting this on the South Side.
They're not even there.
Yeah. But I also want to say, like, look, everybody's got a different story to tell. And one thing that comes up a lot is, like, people come up to me and they'll be like, yo, I like Southside, but I like the Shy better. Or I like Southside more than the Shy. I think people need to realize we're fans of the Shy. Like, we think that they're just telling a different story.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I think that
two bad bitches against each other.
I just think that at the end of the day, like, I think Brothers in Atlanta died in part because people felt like there couldn't be two black shows in Atlanta, and I definitely don't want to feed into the
and don't want to be
I don't want to feed into the stereotype that, like, for some reason you have to pick the Shy over Southside or Southside over Shy. Like, these shows can both exist. In fact, there should be a lot of different shows that offer different things about the city.
Right.
Quick, how does it feel? I want to know the difference between getting greenlit for your first time and like getting greenlit for your third time, knowing you got something going and it's like successful. You know what I mean?
Man, season 3, I feel like that's a really special thing in this time and age. Like, there's a belief in this business that people won't binge watch more than like 24, maybe 28 episodes.
Right.
So, when you get a season 3, that's getting you up to 30 episodes usually. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, I've never. None of our other Sherman's is coming back for season 2. It feels like season 3 because we did a Black History special, during the COVID year, which is really special to me. But yeah, I mean, like, season 3, it feels different. And shout out to the Shy, man. They got season 6.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that's about.
That's a long way.
Showtime don't be into them shows.
The
Sopranos got 6 seasons. Goddamn.
Look at Shameless.
Shout out to
11,
12. Oh yeah, Showtime. They don't give up.
Shout out to Lena.
They don't give up.
Shout out to Lena Waithe and everybody else doing it. Because honestly, season 6, that is a hell of an accomplishment in this day and age. Because nobody gets season 6. You got to be like 2.5 men.
So Sherman Showcase.
Yes.
Your first gripe. Let them know your gripe.
So this is what it was. So I had been fucking with you since Southside, obviously. And I was like, this show is hilarious, it's great, it's accurate. But then it's like, oh, he's got enough. When we started doing the research for this interview, it was like, oh, he's on Sherman Showcase. And I was like, I was instantly pissed off by the name. Like, the name pissed me off because it made me think it was going to be about some goofball named Sherman, which it is, but it's like Soul Train meets SNL meets Dave Chappelle show, and it looks like it's so much work because like the idea is so many like we find out we two funny dudes and like we want to write, so like the way that you guys do that show is like it seems like it's just 20 ideas in one episode and you're putting it all together and making it make sense.
Sherman's is really special to me. I don't think there's ever been a TV show like it, because it's not just a what we call lights up, lights down sketch show. Like, we don't just go from one sketch to another,
a random sketch. No, they all kind of.
In fact, in putting together season 2 was much harder than putting together season 1 in the sense that season 1 we came at it from like a weird sort of like we can do anything. Let's do this show that's like you said, like SNL. Like what 30 Rock was to SNL, we're gonna do it with Soul Train. So the first season, you'll notice we did a lot of. It was like you were watching a commercial for a retrospect. It was like those Time Life things. Like, hey, do you remember that song? Yeah, exactly.
3 a.m. commercials.
Exactly. We even had the fake DVD
Yeah.
infomercial thing that came up. Yeah.
That by itself is crazy.
And by the way, don't sleep. I think that chased a lot of viewers away because I know when I think it's about to be an infomercial on, I turn it off.
Right,
and we're on a linear show, on a linear network. IFC, you watch it. It's got commercials. So, I think that with season 2, we did away with that format and just present to you 6 brand new episodes of the show that was.
Yeah.
And we're still just jumping around from year to year, period to period. We have a whole episode that's basically like a Bandersnatch from Netflix. The one where it's like choose your own adventure.
Yeah. It was Black Mirror, right? Bandersnatch, Black Mirror.
Yes, exactly, exactly. We and I just think it's a really special show. It's not even the kind of show that I want to do once a year because I always want it to be special when it comes out. You know what I mean? Good. Like there's so many moving parts. It's not just the comedy. We have to write something like 30 songs every season.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like we have to write all kinds of songs. Then we gotta work our Rolodex. Go through our contacts.
Get the guests.
Get John Legend's contacts. And just be like, yo, let's get, season 1 we had Neo.
Vic. Shout out Vic, because it seemed like Vic could do whatever y'all ask him to do. So shout out Vic, man.
Vic Mensa, man. Chance, Lil Rel, those are some Chicago dudes who come through. I feel like no matter what we offer to him. Chance literally was just in town. He was like, yo, I can pop in today. What can I do? And so we just threw him in front of the camera.
Oh, that's fire.
That's fire. Issa Rae was like, hey, I'm in town. You want me to come through?
Yeah.
We just, I feel like right now, like we have certain people we like creating the art with.
Right.
And so with Sherman season 2, I think if you like season 1, season 2 is even funnier because we know these characters even better. And if we get the chance to do season 3, I'm throwing out the rule book again. I think in season 3, we might take all those episodes and tell one story about one episode of Sherman. I'm not even kidding. Like,
that'd be crazy. Yeah. Just the most memorable episode ever. The 10th anniversary of Sherman's showcase.
It was only on the air for 30 minutes, but we're going to give you 3 hours of what was happening backstage.
Yeah. Like the Motown 25 episode of Sherman's showcase. All that
stuff, like the episode you was talking, like you said, I was watching the episode last night and it said, what's the best episode? It was like, well, they're like his children, and they're all unique. He's like, bullshit. The episode is right here. And it happened July 5th, 1995. And then you showed up.
What's interesting about that is because, Ryan, you'd earlier asked me what it's like when you get a show greenlit for the first time versus season 3. They are all like children. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, every single time a show gets greenlit, you're through the roof. Yeah. It doesn't get old. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like we put our heart into every show.
For sure. So I guess you kind of answered the question, but I guess Sherman Showcase is harder to write than.
It's gotta be.
It's just different. Southside. Actually, no, I wouldn't say it's harder, but it's so different because with Southside we had to spend literally a month just what we call breaking story.
Okay.
Like we craft out, we plot out the episodes like they're dramas. Like we don't worry about the funny, like because that's why it doesn't come across as sweaty. We just plot it out. What's the logical thing that will happen next? What's an interesting thing that can happen next? And then when we have that, then we go back and we make it really like, oh, okay, now we can hang the jokes on this because we have a firm skeleton. Mm-hmm. With Sherman's, it's almost the opposite. It's like, what's something that you've never seen black people ever do?
Dude, like everything on that show is great.
So, for example, this season, one of the sketches I'm most excited about, I was like, I love the films by Wes Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Perfect Symmetric.
And I love the way they look. I was like, he don't ever use black people.
Ever.
I was like, so why don't we just do the Wes Anderson movie that we wish he would make?
The perfect shot.
And we did. You know what I mean? And we did. Like it was like Sherman Showcase, it was like Sherman McDaniels saw a Wes Anderson movie and decided to make his own. Like that's how we operate on that show. So it's wild, it's crazy, and hopefully it's funny. And again, like, then we had to go into the studio and record these songs, which this year Bashir sings, I think, 4 out of 6 of like the major songs. It was we wanted to showcase his voice more than we did season 1, but also B, just from a practical point of view, we were filming during like the height of Omicron. You know what I'm saying? So like there were all kinds of, we wanted to get like everybody from Professor Henry Louis Gates from Harvard, the guy who does Finding My Roots, to Fonte, who we love, from Little Brother, and he's done a lot of songs with us. Mm-hmm. Couldn't get a lot of people out here because some people were still not traveling, not flying, so it was tough.
COVID.
It was tough to pull together, but we did it.
Yeah, so but what you talk about the singing, so like it seems like it translates through both shows. Everybody on both shows knows how to sing. So like Stacey,
is that a requirement?
Shout out to Zuri.
It's like because
Salahuddin.
So like Bashir, Quincy, and Kareem. It's like singing is a big part of your show, and like I love that. It's like,
Bashir
do you guys
and I
think
met in a singing group at Harvard? We were part of an a cappella group called Brothers, which is quietly a part of why we called it Brothers in Atlanta. But yeah, we met in an a cappella group, and we were singing Shy, like If I Ever Fall in Love and all that kind of stuff. But like it's I don't think it's an accident. We became friends through music. I'm a DJ.
He's a singer.
He's a
show about black people. It's gonna have some music.
Gonna have some singing.
Don't
Gonna
have
have
some
some musical
soul in it,
elements.
baby.
We're a very melodic people. We're always gonna have some singing, and yes, people are like, "Wait, Stacey is the girl from Drop It Low for Jesus," and
Drop it low for
Yeah.
Jesus.
it's fun.
No, I was gonna say, damn, I got sidetracked. Oh, musical. So,
Yeah.
clearly, are you guys gonna do a musical in season 3?
We wanted to write a musical going all the way back to the Fallon years. Like Fallon at one point was like, "Man, maybe I should write a musical," and we were like, "We can write a musical," and we actually started writing one called, I think it was called Ninja the Musical. But I think that part of the reason we did Sherman Showcase is because we felt like, maybe it's a Broadway musical, maybe it's just a show you can go to in Vegas. I would love to do Sherman Showcase the show, live,
Like a residency?
somewhere. Yeah,
that'd be dope.
because we could have everybody from Bashir to John to Vic Mensa to Neo to everybody.
It'd be like in living color.
I'm saying, I think people would come out to see that. You could basically come for the comedy and the songs, and then I'm a DJ for the rest of the night. That to me sounds like a good night in
For
Vegas.
sure.
Sounds amazing. So with writing the songs, because the songs are probably the best part of each episode, and the segments. Brother You're Wrong might be my favorite one so far.
Shout out to
Brother
Dave.
You're Wrong.
Shout
That
out to
was
Dave Hellum.
genius. But I think, were you channeling Michael McDonald when you did the Everybody's Ball and Ball? Who was that?
I was trying to sound like your boy Bob Seger.
Bob
The guy who
Seger.
does like a rock. It was more than I could do.
That's the one that
He does I get
I
high with a little help from my friends. All I need is somebody.
Yeah, my friends. He did Turn the Page. That dude, right?
Turn the
Here I
Page.
go on the road again.
Oh.
There I am up on the stage.
I don't even know that song. I don't know
Silver
that
Bullet Band, right? Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet. He's got another
you
song.
sound like you might know more about
it's
Bob
night,
Seger.
No,
it's
he
not, it's
definitely sound like
Nightwood.
he might
You
know a
know,
lot.
Night moves.
Most of my Bob Seger knowledge comes from the commercials for Ford trucks and the theme song to the Wonder Years. So there you go.
Hey Diallo, so when you're doing Southside, do you guys, to me, the smartest characters on the show, or I say the ones with the most conscious, are the hood characters, Fugitive Bay and Bluto.
Bluto's great.
Bluto.
Shout out
Bluto's
to Ron
great.
Connor.
So-
Ron Connor is like one of these guys who is so established in the Chicago theater community, but doesn't always get the chance to show the world what he does. And so
On the screen.
let me say we do a very vigorous audition process on Southside. We do multiple callbacks,
Wow.
and there are times when we'll really like an actor, but they're not right for that role. So we'll bring them in the following season, to play a role they never even, auditioned for. You know what I mean? I think it's so important that we don't bring in actors from LA. We literally have exactly. And that's why people who live in Chicago are like, "Oh, I didn't even know that person acted." Or, they'll be like, "Oh, I've seen them. I know them. I've seen their stand up." It's so important that we bring in all those Chicago faces and not just fly people in from LA.
Yeah, once again, the show is so authentic and accurate to a real Chicagoan. Have you ever been involved in a heated spades tournament yourself?
I mean, I am black and I am from Atlanta, so of course.
Of course,
Right.
I play
I'll
spades.
tell you, what a crazy night. We were playing spades at my house in LA, and at the time, he's 12 now, but at the time, my 7-year-old beat Bashir in spades. It was crazy.
Wow.
It was crazy. Yeah. So I mean, we go out of our way again to make everything really authentic. You know what I'm saying? Even just the difference between, the Heralds on one street versus the Heralds on another. We want people to know, hey, everybody here is from Chicago. Right. No. I was the one person who was not from Chicago, and that's why we even made that a part of my character. Because in the first episode,
Inglewood.
I'm from Inglewood. And then it came out in season
Inglewood,
2.
California.
He's from Inglewood, California.
That shit was perfect.
He's a complete and total fraud.
But I like it was even the little nuances of the show, on 63rd dailies, you turned that into Washingtons, and I thought that's hilarious.
Well, okay, so now I'm gonna have to raise some beef now. There have been certain
Soho House.
certain places that we thought were gonna open their arms to us,
Right.
and then they were like, "You can't use our name, you can't shoot here, you can't," and we're like, "Really?
Free
Really?
promo.
So You exactly. I mean, like when you watch Insecure,
I'm on HBO.
When you watch Insecure, they shoot at Kiss and Grind, which is a real party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we try to do the equivalent with some city famous party. I'm not gonna say which one it is. But I'll tell you what, you're going to hear about the Silver Room and not that other party because the Silver Room showed us love.
Shout out Silver Room.
Shout out Silver Room. Hey.
You know what I mean? But like we definitely tried to use another one. I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah, for sure. That's crazy.
I was just like, come on, y'all. Lollapalooza said yes.
Do y'all not understand
y'all
what we're
say
doing?
Yes?
Right. Hey, we was going to bring that up too. So like, it looks like you're getting love around the city. Like Lollapalooza, were you guys filming or was you
We
just
were
guys
filming
just
in
dabbling?
Lollapalooza.
Okay.
It factors into a big story this episode, this season. And shout out to Corday. Who we had already planned on having on the show.
Dope.
He made our episode part of his stage act,
Oh, he's
which
not.
is fantastic. So, you know, he got out there, and then I saw in Shade Room, people were like, is this dude trying to look like a Civil War general? Like, yeah, he still had on his
That's going to be funny when they make the connection, though.
Yeah, no, it's going to be
It's
great.
going to be dope when they make the
It's gonna
connection. How was it working with Marlon Wayans?
One of the nicest people I've met in life, period.
Okay.
Absolutely. You know, I didn't know him from anybody when I went in and auditioned for that thing. And, you know, at the end of the audition, he was laughing. You know, I've liked Marlon my whole life. He was laughing. I was like, oh, that's cool. I made one of my heroes laugh.
For sure.
And then I'll never forget, he put his arm around me like, yo, you's a funny nigga.
Gee, that's the best.
And then I was like, I told my agent afterward, I was like, you know what? I don't know if I got that part, but
He said,
I feel like you could pitch me for like another part later in the season. It might work out. No, she called about an hour later. She was like, no, you're on the show.
Oh, shit.
And I felt like, I was like, oh, this is what it feels like when, you know, when something finally, you know,
clicks.
when that moment, you know. I remember a story of Kanye saying he was going down the escalator at the at the Virgin Megastore, which is for the young people, is a place you used to have to go to buy music. He was going down the escalator at the Virgin, at the Virgin Megastore, and he realized that they were going to put out a song that he had produced for, I think it was Jay-Z, and he was like, "Oh, this is the moment where it starts to click." And you know, like I wish that for everybody who pursues an artistic endeavor.
For sure.
Yeah,
We waiting on those clicking moments, y'all.
Right. This is close. This is right here. We kind of feel like the shit right now. I'm not going to lie to you. We got Diallo in the building. We're here interviewing.
Can I say real quick, you know, we're working on this new show with Marlon, and I think it just speaks to how much fun we had shooting that Marlon show for Netflix.
Right.
Like, it was fun. We, you know, me, him, Brisha, in essence, we became like a family in real life. Like, we still meet up for dinner whenever we're all in one town at the same time and stuff. And, like, those are my people. So when we started talking about what we could work on next, he was like, do a show where we can have all those people plus all the other people that I really like in this business. We can all, you know, come together. It won't be the same show at all. Like, one thing I do like about that Netflix show, you know, you can watch it with your kids. Like, it's like this next show, not going to be like that.
Yeah,
Perfect.
You know, it's
Even a
gonna,
brunch.
Switch it up.
it's going to be like Insecure and I'm trying to think of some other shows where, like, you wouldn't let your kids watch this show.
Entourage.
Yeah, Entourage. But it's going to be truthful. It's going to always be truthful. And it's going to be funny.
For sure,
know,
for
but
sure.
just put the kids to bed.
For sure. Speaking about new shows, like, you guys just signed a deal with Warner Brothers, right?
Didn't just sign it. We actually signed it about 2 years ago. But what's nice about it is that we get to work with, we get to get more of our ideas out there. We get to work with people who we've always liked. You know, we're working right now with Tony Baker on a project that I absolutely
Fucking love Tony Baker.
Yeah.
And Tony Baker needs a bigger platform.
He needs a platform,
like, he
man.
just needs a platform, and I feel like he's going to be
so
out of
damn
here.
funny. He's so damn, you know, he's so damn humble and nice.
Yeah,
you know?
man.
Like, it's hard to find that combination in anybody who's got talent. And just given some of the personal stuff he's had to overcome. I mean,
With
like,
that his recent loss.
Come on,
like,
man. Like,
he's still out
the
here.
fact that he's still able to find the joy in everyday life is amazing. So yeah, we're working with him on something right now, and just working with a bunch of people that we really admire, trying to get them out there and just have some fun, man. You know, before, Lord knows, like, this is a crazy business right now.
That
Like,
pox going crazy.
what?
That monkey pox.
You got
Anything
monkeypox. You got also the entertainment industry is in a lot of flux. You know, not to make this like an episode on CNBC, but, like, you know, if you want to just talk from a business point of view, like, Netflix is cutting back on money. Like, all the streamers are cutting back on what they spend on shows because for a while it was just like a lot of money and going out to a lot of shows, and like Discovery bought Warner Brothers, and like everybody's cutting back. So you really have to have like just the strongest ideas to get any kind of funding right now. So,
but it would seem like it would be the other way because everybody needs content right now, right? Like all these platforms need
they
content.
do, but yet you got to realize like
They want you to make it on your dime.
oh no, God no. Let me tell you something. This is a bit of advice to anybody out there trying to make it. If you go do anything in this business where somebody's like, oh yeah, I'll support you. You gotta pay for it yourself. That's always a little suspicious.
Scammy.
Right.
Yeah,
Scam.
like when people are like, "Oh, I'll be your agent, but you have to
$500.
pay me up front." That's not how anybody legitimate works. So just understand that that's not how it works. If somebody claims to be your agent or wants to be your agent, they should make 10% of whatever you earn through them. Like it shouldn't even be the stuff that you booked yourself. Like, just don't get taken for advantage, y'all. I forgot what we were talking about. Yeah, because I do
Netflix
like to.
And all them stuff cutting
Yeah,
back.
they're just all cutting back. I mean, like they're all a bunch of tech companies came in and bought a bunch of Hollywood companies, and for a while everybody was signing up for subscriptions, but right now people are kind of maxed out. They're like, okay, I got Netflix, I got HBO Max, and maybe one other thing.
We'll start bundling this together.
I'm not trying to have 8 and 9.
Yeah.
It's becoming cable again.
It is.
It's just cable again. I pay $5 for this, $6
About $100 worth of
$10
subscription.
if I don't want no commercials.
Exactly. And, so it's just a lot of people are cutting back on content spending. And also places
You're
like
right,
that.
spending. Because we definitely sharing.
Exactly. But the companies realize that people are sharing, so they're cutting back on what they spend. And what I was trying to say was that, a company like Netflix or Amazon Prime, they have so many shows that you've never watched.
Right.
So they're banking on the idea that, like, if they don't come out with a new show tomorrow, well, they'll just push something that's already been on their platform to the homepage. You'll be like, oh, what's this thing? And you'll click on that.
It does happen sometimes. Netflix does it a lot.
And they keep raising the price. They got some nerve to be cutting down.
So, did you feel like a superstar when you made Jeopardy? When the show cut?
Man, I have a sister who watches every day.
Yeah.
And when she texted me that, I was thrilled.
It's like, this is different, yo.
That's next level.
It's something about when your family hit you and be like, it's like another made it moment, Because like those are the people you do it for. So it's like when they recognize, it's like,
man, when I showed up,
gratification.
look, I've had how many seasons of Southside and Sherman Showcase? I did an episode of Insecure. I heard from everybody. And I was just like, you know what? That's the power of having some real reach. So, I love HBO Max and I love Hulu where Sherman Showcase lives. But I do want to say that, to them and to anybody else we work with in the future, promote our shows because I do feel like everybody who watches them loves them. And there's no reason why we shouldn't have the reach that a show like Insecure has.
Yeah, front page HBO right now.
That could just be the power of black women too, though. Black women, yeah, no, seriously, like Issa Rae, like, cause like with black folks, the women really control everything. So like with a show like that, if the girls are watching the show, motherfuckers gonna watch the show.
Both of our shows have so many women
characters.
in front of the camera, in front of the camera and behind the camera. Like all of our shows have black female writers, and I think that comes through in the writing. I think that's why people watch a show like Southside or Sherman's and be like, oh, Drop It Low for Jesus, or the character of Officer Turner. Like these are clearly like the result of like having more black women in the room.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I'm saying like Issa Rae, she's like a mega power.
Absolutely.
She's different.
And by the way, Issa, another friend of ours, Issa, Robin Thede, these are people we've known for years, going all the way back to 2012 and 2013. And every day we're like texting and just trying to figure out what we can work on together,
That's right. And
thankfully, a lot of our deals are all at the same studio. So, don't be surprised if you look up and, Diallo and Bashir working with Robin, Diallo and Bashir working with Issa. I think it could happen very soon.
And both of you guys kind of got noticed the same way, like putting out a web series.
Oh, yes.
Like both of you guys both.
Shout out to Awkward Black Girl. Shout out to The Message. If you can find those message videos, those are, you'll see me and Bashir in our 20s. Having a good time.
Yeah,
those videos were a lot of fun.
I think that's just a testament to like just put something out. Like sometimes people just don't start, and I'll be like, man, starting is the hardest part.
People are like, oh, who do I have to meet? Who needs to read my script? I'm like, take the 5 minutes of your script that you can afford to shoot. Maybe not the thing with the helicopter chase,
right.
but maybe that thing that takes place around a dinner table and just shoot it. We shot 72 videos for The Message.
Yeah,
we were shooting 2 and 3 a week. And we developed our voice, and we figured out how who does what on a set, and that was our film school. Yeah. I always say you don't really have to go to film school.
I went to Columbia 2 years, and then I started working in the field, and I realized that was everybody's story.
If you go straight into the field and you just shoot something with your friends, you will get better. Just stay shooting.
Yeah.
It's just like exercise. You just got to do the reps.
Yeah, amen to that.
Want to jump into rapids?
Rapid fires. Let's go.
Yep.
So, I'm going to ask you some tough questions here.
Uh-oh.
What's your favorite Chicago food so far?
I'm gonna make some people say it. I'm a sucker for the Chicago dog from Portillo's. I know that's
Beautiful
mad.
food. That's a beautiful
Yeah, Portillo's. We rocking with that.
Every Saturday, I'm gonna place my order.
I just said we
get
might
one
go to
dog?
Portillo's after this.
Sometimes I get 2 and 3, man.
You don't get the cheese fries, man?
Cheese fries are good. Cheese fries. I'll tell you. Okay, so here I'm about to start some beef. People told me for a long time you need the chocolate
cake shake.
Chocolate cake shake. It was too much.
Yeah,
thick.
I can't do that.
Okay, thank God.
I never do that. I don't do the chocolate cake
I thought I was
shit.
gonna catch shots for that one, but at least y'all agree with me on that.
No, it was good the first time you get it, but I'm not going to finish
It felt like
that.
a lumpy. It actually felt like there was cake in my shake.
It was cake in your shake.
I
They
know.
blended it up.
I thought it was gonna be more complicated than that. I think they just took some cake. Yeah, it was too much.
All right, I'm gonna start a little beef with my question now.
Uh oh.
All right, if you had to kick one twin out the show, Kareem or Quincy, which one?
The right one off.
If you had the right one off, which one?
You can't write out the twins, man. The twins been there since we shot the reel. We shot a reel. This is goes to what
scissors
I
reel.
said. Yeah, we shot a scissor reel, which everybody should do, because if you're writing something that's truly unique and different, sometimes those executives, especially they don't come from where you come from,
They can't read it.
can't read it.
Yeah.
So we went off and we spent our own money, which, to go to your earlier point, sometimes you do have to spend your own money.
Right.
We took about like $10,000, pulled it together, and just shot them walking around the neighborhood, sitting on the stoop that they grew up on, and just being themselves. And that's what convinced the network that when we finally sold the show, we shouldn't go out to like these Hollywood actors to be like the face. And you can populate it with some Chicago people, but we need these people to
be the
we were like,
stars.
no, we're going to use these two people
Genuine
who've
Chicagoans, right.
never had a booked role in their lives.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be funny and authentic. And I think both of them have different talents. I think Kay is hilarious. And I think Q is hilarious in like a really understated way. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
like dry humor a little bit.
He's more dry. So it's just like,
No, hilarious. Shout out to Q and K, friends of the family. Reason I even got on the show.
And there you go.
When are you most productive?
Morning.
Morning? You're a morning person.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wake up every morning at 6 a.m.
What subject were you best at in school?
I was best at history. Yeah.
Oh,
I was best at history. Yep. And history is just a story.
Cool. And then what is success for you?
Honestly, the ability to make the things that I dream about, like literally, like every night, assuming I ain't had too much sauce.
You remember your dreams?
I have very vivid dreams, and I'll wake up and I'll like write down everything that I can remember about them, and then I'll go back, and those will either become jokes in the existing shows, or they might become shows themselves or ideas for films. And so to me, being successful is being able to take the things that I wish somebody else would make, but nobody's making it, and then make those things come to fruition. I remember Snoop saying a long time ago, he was like, Snoop Dogg was like, I make the music that I want somebody else to make, so I can drive around and listen to it. And I think that's what makes your art personal. I think if you're making stuff that you like, there are probably other people out there who like it too. And by the way, me and Bashir are two different people. Like, there are times when I'm like, I don't like that joke, or I'll write something, he'll be like, I'm not feeling that. But everybody responds to something. You know what I'm saying? So just stick to your guns and keep working on it, keep doing it. I guarantee you'll find an audience.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Guys, both of you two are creative geniuses. I'm going to keep telling you that forever.
Yeah, it's been an amazing interview.
Amazing interview. Thanks for having us. Much obliged. Appreciate it. Wait, we got to say, thanks for coming to the podcast. Coming to the podcast.
Next time, tell me we're going to be singing, and I'll practice.
I got you. And we're going to bring you some
We want to be
Cabernet
in
or
the
some
musical.
Casamigos next time for sure.
I would
Find
love
out
to
that's what
be
you
in the
like.
musical.
It's the podcast. It's the podcast.